Senior Prophecy, the class of 2019. It's a bit unorthodox, maybe, but I think you'll like it. Picture, if you will, a post-apocalyptic world demolished by an authoritarian oligarchy. The year is 2048. All governments have fallen, cities are dust, and the justice under unjust law federation reigns supreme in the new world.
All hope is not lost for the free world, however. A resistance force is formed from the few survivors and is led by a rough, tough, burly beast. Her name is Sarah Hill. We find ourselves in the Resistance HQ, where Sarah is touring the facility, picking up slack and checking up on her fellow rebels. She passes by Jacqueline, who is practicing her militant leadership style by using her commanding voice yelling on her pet hamster, who mysteriously went deaf last week. A few feet behind Jacqueline is Trinity Brandon, silent, staring at her with a menacing aura.
Sarah tries to ignore the aggressive shouts coming through the walls
Dut, 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 dut!
from Jacqueline and moves down to the next room, where she sees Jake Erickson. In the daycare, tending to the 16 children the resistance is taking in. Sarah knows this is where he belongs, as he is, and always has been, a dad.
She looks at him with an approving smile, letting him know he's doing great. Love you. The next hallway leads Sarah to the main research facility, where the head scientist, Brooke McKinney, seems to be in a panic. Brooke yells to Sarah, "It's all over! The Federation sent a headhunter to take us out!" Suddenly, the wall collapses violently When the dust clears, we see the headhunter, Luke Klein, riding on the back of his trusty mount, Eric Browning. Just like the legends told, Luke is still fallen in, just as he was in 2018, and on his shoulders is Madison Montague. Luke is distracted by Eric's lack of push-ups. He telepathically screams at Eric, "Drop and give me 20." Using this distraction to her advantage, Brooke urges Sarah to, "I've constructed a time travel device. We must send a champion back in time to retrieve the long-forgotten warriors of the class of 2019 to defeat the Federation."
Mason the Vila emerges from the shadows and exclaims, "So, no democracy? I'm about to head out." He walks into the newly formed time rift, soaring through infinity, to the year 2030. He emerges from the rift, slightly queasy. He's in an old West ghost town named West Sylvania. He knows why he's here.
He moseys into the old town bar, where the first two warriors lie. He swings open the doors, revealing just two men playing blackjack in an old dusty room. Mason grabs the first player by the shoulder and tells him, "Wesley, your people need you. A 6'4", chonky, titan of a man." Oh, I turned too many pages. I got it. We're good. I know, I'm sorry. A titan of a man rises from the stool and whispers, "Wesley, I haven't heard that name in years." He nods and fist bumps Mason. The other blackjack player throws a card precisely between Mason's eyes and says, "You forgetting someone?" Will Harbor rises from the dealer blackjack table, playing cards in his hands. Mason agrees, saying the resistance could use some math lessons. Follow us. But unbeknownst to Mason was the third warrior, Peyton, making shakes at the bar. Maybe it was known, but as usual, Mason disregarded her, and the other three warriors went on their quests.
Mason and the first two warriors follow a road to the Forgotten District, Joshingvale. They knock on the door of a small trailer home with sheets in the windows. A raggedy man emerges from the trailer. He has a long gray beard and is wearing a brown robe. Mason and the two warriors know of this man. He's a sage who studies a simpler time, 2012, particularly the memes. Josh Hale, our sage, asks, "What do you kids want? It's too late for you to be out here." And Will Harbor is visibly confused as it is 6:30 p.m. Wesley barks, "The future needs you. We'll need wisdom to rebuild the United States in its former glory." The old sage turns around, slamming his door. He emerges a few moments later, holding a strangely familiar Mir Pro speaker. Josh grins, "I snagged this bad boy from Perrin all those years ago." He seems willing to help and follows the newly formed group to the final destination, the swamps of Fester. On the path of the Chosen One, the grounds get squishier and slimier. The Kahoot theme echoes through the swamps. It grows slowly louder as the party approaches the Chosen One's hut. Just as Josh is about to knock on the door, a raggled Finn collie emerges in the hut, with a crazed smile on his face. "Hello, old friends. Have you come to make amends? Or is this where your path ends?" Josh gives Finn a rundown of the situation, to which Finn replies, "You want me to be with thee? First, you must take my Kahoot quizzes 3. After several hours of obscure references and memes, the Warriors finally defeat the Kahoot quiz, and Finn agrees to follow the party into the future.
Out of nowhere, the party, now 5 strong, vaporize into a fine blue mist and rematerialize in the Resistance laboratory. The mighty Luke seems to still be distracted with Eric's push-up game. Whack, yo! He appears to be harmless for now. Sarah rushes to Mason and asks, "Where's Ben?" Ben, the clarinet. Forget it. Brooke interjects by saying, "Not to rush you guys or anything, but the leader of the Federation's on his way to finish us off."
Oh, fudge!
Only they didn't say fudge. It seems the leader was close to the Resistance headquarters, as the sounds of a particular national anthem echo through the battle. A low, menacing chuckle comes from the Resistance wall. A figure in red battle attire with a flowing black cape and a Russian winter hat emerges from the doorway. The Resistance of the class of 2019 knew this was coming. Only one person could bring the world to its knees under authoritarian communist rule. Wyatt Spangler. It seemed as if he had taken the militant leader look to heart and was apparently a fan of Thanos. He wears an infinity gauntlet, glistening with infinity stones shining in the light. The infinity gauntlet was not made of gold or silver, however. It appeared to have been made of his right-hand man. Get it? Right hand. Carson Ford was attached to Wyatt's fist. "Nah," he screeches. The glowing infinity stones showed the faces of those that stood in his way. Katie Allen in place of the Mind Stone. In place of the Reality Stone was Natalie Millen, the Power Stone, Nick Bramhall, Madison Morgan, Mind Stone, Brendan Battles in place of the Space Stone, and Caitlin Taylor in place of the Time Stone.
The Resistance fighters prepare themselves for battle, disregarding their severe disadvantage as capitalists. Finn remembers an old friend from the good old days of high school, a secret weapon which come in handy during this battle for freedom.
Weak scum. Your days in this universe are numbered. Wyatt snaps his fingers, turning the Resistance warriors to dust. All but one have fallen. The final defender of the world, Finn Colley, is the only one standing between Wyatt Spangler and world domination. Finn smirks. "The war is not done, Spangler. You have not won. God of jazz, God of music theory, for you I have just one query. This foe you shall bury." As the final syllables uttered from Finn's lips, a burst of fire appears between Finn and Wyatt. This was Finn's secret weapon. As the smoke clears, a spirit is there, a ghostly figure, adorning a suit modeled after the Stars and Stripes, holding a saxophone, the soul of Mr. Baird. It's the only thing worthy of defeating Wyatt. Wyatt is clearly confused, but is taken off guard by the ghost, ripping a sick sax solo, inspired by the Star Spangled Banner. No, my only weakness. Wyatt melts into a puddle, defeated by Mr. Baird, wielder of the sax. At this moment, Finn succumbs to the power of Carson Ford and becomes dust in the wind.
And thus, the war against the Justice under Unjust Law Federation and our class of heroes comes to an end, leaving a world without a ruler, and Tristan still in a McDonald's trash can. The seniors, turned to dust, will become legendary. Their stories told for centuries, and their influence on the resistance and eternity. Their sacrifice has given way to the next generation of heroes, and the soul still burns.